Just as a little coda to the cross-country journey, we're going to head out to the coast today. We're in the Bay Area. This is Sand Hill Road. There are venture capital firms off to our right that just line this whole road, and off to our left is the Stanford Linear Accelerator, which is a 2-mile-long particle accelerator. Kind of like CERN, if CERN was a straight line instead of like a ring. Yeah, and it's still around, still in use. Certainly Sand Hill Road is absolutely full of cyclists and pedestrians, and also people exceeding the 40-mile-an-hour speed limit by quite a bit. That's a bit of a trend in California. Pretty much everyone takes the speed limit signs as mere suggestions of a sort of minimum, rather than any kind of marker of real traffic thought to be taken seriously. As you can see, even on this main road, which is about to become a highway on-ramp, there are lots and lots of markings on the road to delineate where the bicyclists go. Continuing up Sand Hill Road to Alpine and through Portola and back down is a commonly done bicycle loop. Good training for hills, for sure. Here we're coming on to 280 North. This highway was designed and engineered and laid out by the guy who designed and engineered the Indy 500 track. And it really shows. It's a highway that's really meant to go. You're meant to go about 140 on it. It's banked that way for sure. Some California motorcyclists. California motorcycle law has all kinds of interesting specifics in it. They really encourage motorcyclists to ride in pairs like this, especially at night, in order to kind of form a car-like set of headlights and taillights. In addition to that, it's legal for motorcyclists to split the lanes in heavy traffic and in light traffic too. So you'll often actually get passed kind of enormously close to your mirrors by any given motorcyclist here in the state, which I appreciate the terrifying danger of that a lot more now that I have motorcyclist friends than when I was, say, a teenager driving around this very highway going, maybe 20 miles an hour faster with a lot less care about who was around me. So, a dangerous state, but, exciting. This whole highway's banked. These guys could be going 50 miles an hour faster and it would be completely fine. It would be just as smooth a ride. The view that we're turning towards now, as we head north and west up the Bay Area Peninsula, is a fog bank that's rolling in from the coast. The fog comes up over the coastal range, which only goes maybe 2,000 or 3,000 feet high at its highest, and some of these hills have kind of gaps in them that are maybe only around the 1,500 foot mark, so the fog can kind of wander in. Typically the Bay Area has kind of fog-covered mornings. The fog gets burnt off by the sun, but then these coastal fog banks will really come in any time over the course of the day and just blanket the whole place. There's beautiful poems about the San Francisco fog. It creeps in on little cats' feet. I can't recall who the author of that particular verse is, but he's correct. This is one of the spectacles of 280 as you drive up the Bay Area Peninsula towards San Francisco. is diving down under the fog layer here that's coming in off the coast. In the valley ahead of us, there are two big reservoir lakes, which are actually rift lakes. They sit right on top of the San Andreas Fault, though they were dammed up by a pretty large hydroelectric dam in order to create both a reservoir and a kind of power source. And then they built a prison underneath the dam in the river valley that used to kind of bring all this water out and into the bay. Certainly once you've tried the flyover ramps of California, you get spoiled on this kind of epic infrastructure. That was a pedestrian bridge over the highway connecting the, I think that's Edgewood Park with the reservoir down there. Hell yeah, fly over. Oh, look at these tree canopies. Gorgeous. This is the southern half of the two reservoirs. This is Highway 92, which goes from 280 up over the coastal range and then on to Half Moon Bay. And this eucalyptus grove and then the cypress grove after it are real heralds of the ocean and the kind of landscape to come. This is a drive that I took often in my teenage years. Half Moon Bay is about a half hour away from home, and just a great way to get away from one environment and into a radically different one. It was to summit this coastal range mountains here and head out to the coast. The weather's different, the landscape's different, the plant life is different, the animal life's different. So when I was able to drive and was responsible enough to take myself out on an afternoon of wandering, I would. And often I'd find myself driving up this road. So check out this stand of trees that we're about to come into here. Off to our left. So cool to be completely inside the grove like that. The midway point here is, of course, Skyline Boulevard, which is a left turn right up here. And that follows the ridgeline of the coastal range further south and east. Twisty, turny road. This road's also twisty, turny, but in a different way. These are big highways, swooping cuts through a pretty steep set of hills. And what's fun about this road is that it was widened maybe 20 years ago, and when they widened it and redid the road cuts off to the sides, the road cuts needed to be reinforced with concrete, but they were very careful to actually texture the concrete, which you can see off to the left here, to match the underlying strata. On this upcoming one, you can see that the sort of concrete forms reflect the strata above them. Not totally precisely, but hey, pony friends. Good morning, good morning. These guys are up in the parking lot. State Fair mini donuts. A must-have. Cinnamon and sugar, of course. Down there's one of the trains that runs between the parking lot and the farm. And beyond that's Route 92. We dare you to visit the haunted house. The haunted house is over there. We're gonna go visit it. We're entering the haunted house. Oh no. This is where the monsters are. Waiting. You're surviving it. Haunted house. It's a hero. Jesus must destroy. This coffin's for you. Unless you would like to leave. Then the exit's there. Thank you, Daddy. It's a little bit hard to see, but right over there is the Half Moon Bay Fish Market and the Fisherman's Taverna. This is the intersection of Route 92 and Main Street. Route 92 goes back towards the bay, to the left here, and out to the ocean to the right here. Well, actually, it just goes one more block to the Pacific Coast Highway, but we're not going to go that way. We're going to go straight through this. So we're going to head into Half Moon Bay. Downtown's actually spread beyond the little bridge that's right here. Stone Pine Center off to our left. little bridge was built 121 years ago, 1900. Now we're in downtown. It's a really beautiful little shopping district. Oh, that was a toy store. I think they didn't survive. This place has always been kind of a chill little seaside village. That's where I'm going. We're driving around on the Pacific Coast Highway, Highway 1, south, which is the southern end of Half Moon Bay. The ocean's to our right, the hills are to our left. Way out at sea there is the Yangming Uniformity, which is a container ship that has about 4,000 containers on it right now. It's about 8 miles out to sea. It's heading from Los Angeles to the port of Oakland.